Mike Banning, a name synonymous with courage, loyalty, and unwavering dedication. His story is one of relentless commitment and bravery. A former U.S. Army Ranger, Banning had dedicated his life to serving his country. His journey began in the rugged terrains of military training, where he honed his skills and developed an unbreakable spirit. He found his calling in the elite ranks of the Secret Service, entrusted with the safety of the most powerful man in the world, President Benjamin Asher. This role was not just a job, it was a mission that demanded the highest level of vigilance and integrity. Banning's bond with the First Family extended beyond duty. It was a connection built on mutual respect and trust, a relationship that transcended the professional boundaries. He shared a warm rapport with the president, a deep respect for the First Lady, and a playful camaraderie with their son, Connor. These moments of genuine connection were rare but cherished. Little did he know, a storm was brewing, one that would test his loyalty and push him to the very edge of his limits. The challenges ahead would demand every ounce of his strength and resolve. Banning excelled in his role, his sharp instincts and combat experience making him the president's most trusted shield. His ability to anticipate danger was unparalleled. He moved with an air of quiet confidence, his eyes constantly scanning for potential threats. Every step he took was calculated, every glance purposeful. But behind the stoic facade was a man who understood the true cost of sacrifice. He had seen the toll it took on those who served, and he bore that weight with silent dignity. He knew that protecting the president often meant putting himself in harm's way. It was a reality he faced daily, a risk he accepted without hesitation. It was a burden he carried with unwavering resolve, for the oath he had taken was sacred, a promise etched in his very soul. This pledge was his guiding light, a testament to his enduring spirit and unyielding dedication. The idyllic tranquility of a snow-dusted Christmas Eve was shattered by a tragedy that would forever alter the course of Banning's life and the nation's history. The First Family, accompanied by Banning, was en route to a holiday gathering, a tradition they cherished. Laughter filled the air as snowflakes danced outside the armored limousine's windows, creating a picturesque scene of joy and warmth. But the festive cheer was abruptly silenced as a logging truck skidded on the icy road, hurtling towards the president's vehicle in a deadly embrace of steel and snow, a nightmare unfolding in slow motion. Chaos erupted. Time seemed to slow to a crawl as instinct took over, every second stretching into an eternity. Banning reacted with lightning speed, his training kicking in as he made a split-second decision that would haunt him for years to come, a decision that would replay in his mind over and over. He secured the president, shielding him with his own body, a heroic act of selflessness. But the First Lady, despite his valiant efforts, couldn't be saved, her loss a devastating blow. The world watched in horror as the accident unfolded, the news spreading like wildfire. The image of the mangled limousine seared into the nation's collective memory, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. The aftermath of the accident was a blur of grief and recrimination. Banning, hailed as a hero for saving the president, blamed himself for the First Lady's death. The memory of that fateful night, the chilling crunch of metal, and his inability to save her, became a specter that followed him relentlessly. The weight of survivor's guilt pressed down on him, suffocating him with each passing day. Removed from the presidential detail, he was reassigned to a desk job at the Treasury Department. Stripped of his purpose and consumed by guilt, Banning retreated into himself. The once sharp Secret Service agent became a shadow of his former self, haunted by the past and unable to escape the prison of his own making. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. A storm was brewing, one that would force Banning to confront his demons and reclaim the hero within. The White House, codenamed Olympus, stood as a beacon of democracy, a symbol of American strength. But on this day, it became the target of an audacious and meticulously planned terrorist attack. A rogue paramilitary group, identifying themselves as KUF, Korean Unified Front, launched a multi-pronged assault, exploiting security vulnerabilities with chilling precision. The nation watched in disbelief as heavily armed terrorists stormed the iconic building, taking the president and several high-ranking officials hostage. The attackers, led by a ruthless and cunning mastermind named Kang Yeonsak, were not mere thugs driven by ideology. They were highly trained soldiers, equipped with advanced weaponry and an intimate knowledge of the White House's inner workings. Their objective was not just to make a statement, but to cripple the United States from within, holding the president and the fate of the nation hostage to their nefarious demands. Section 5. A Lone Wolf in the Belly of the Beast. As news of the attack spread like wildfire, plunging the nation into chaos, the gravity of the situation became clear to everyone. Banning knew he couldn't stand idly by. He had a duty, a responsibility that went beyond the call of duty. He had been stripped of his badge, his purpose, but not his oath. The badge was just a symbol. His commitment was unbreakable. This wasn't just a job, it was personal. It was about redemption, about proving to himself and others that he still had what it took. He had to save the president, not just for the country but for the memory of the First Lady whose legacy he vowed to protect. Her memory was a guiding light, a beacon that fueled his resolve. He infiltrated the White House, a lone wolf entering the belly of the beast, driven by a mission that was as much about honor as it was about duty. Determined to utilize his knowledge of the building's layout and security protocols to his advantage, he moved with precision. Evading the terrorists with a combination of cunning and brute force, he became a ghost, a shadow that moved unseen. He became a phantom, a whisper in the corridors of power, his presence felt but never seen. He established communication with the outside world, a lifeline that was crucial for the success of his mission. Relaying crucial information about the terrorists' positions and plans, he became the key to the counter-operation. He became the eyes and ears inside the besieged building, a vital asset in the fight against the invaders. His every move a calculated risk against an enemy that outnumbered and outgunned him, yet he remained undeterred, driven by an unyielding sense of duty and justice. Section 6. A desperate race against time. The terrorist demands were clear: the withdrawal of all U.S. forces from the Korean Peninsula, the assassination of key South Korean leaders, and the activation of a hidden nuclear device codenamed Cerberus, capable of plunging the Korean Peninsula and potentially the world into darkness. With each passing moment, the clock ticked down, the fate of millions hanging precariously in the balance. The president, held captive in the White House bunker, became a pawn in Kang's deadly game. Banning, racing against time, became a one-man army, picking off the terrorists one by one, his every action driven by a potent mix of skill and desperation. He knew that each life he took brought him one step closer to the president, one step closer to thwarting Kang's plan, and atoning for the ghosts that haunted him. Section 7. Facing the enemy, Kang's ruthless ambition. Kang Yeonsak, a former North Korean Special Forces operative, was a formidable adversary. Driven by a twisted sense of patriotism and fueled by years of resentment towards the United States, he had meticulously planned this attack. He underestimated Banning, however, mistaking his grief-stricken demeanor for weakness. Kang believed he was invincible, that his plan was foolproof, but he had misjudged the depths of Banning's resolve. Their confrontation was inevitable, a clash between two skilled warriors, each fighting for a cause they believed in. But while Kang was driven by hatred and vengeance, Banning was fueled by a deep sense of duty and a burning need to protect innocent lives. Section 8. Cerberus unleashed the final showdown. The tension ratcheted up as Banning cornered Kang in the heart of the White House, the fate of the nation hanging in the balance. Kang, desperate to achieve his objective, initiated the Cerberus system. The world held its breath as the unthinkable loomed, a nuclear detonation that could trigger a global catastrophe. Banning, with seconds to spare, engaged in a brutal hand-to-hand combat with Kang, a desperate struggle that tested his physical and mental limits to the breaking point. Just as Kang thought he had won, Banning, summoning his last reserves of strength, managed to gain the upper hand. He deactivated the Cerberus system, the threat of nuclear annihilation vanishing as quickly as it had arisen. The world breathed a collective sigh of relief, the nightmare finally over. Section 9. A hero's redemption, resurgence from the ashes. With Kang neutralized and the hostages safe, Banning emerged from the ashes, a hero reborn. He had stared death in the face and emerged victorious. He had not only saved the president and the country, but had also conquered his own inner demons. The guilt that had haunted him for years began to dissipate, replaced by a hard-earned sense of peace. The president, deeply grateful for Banning's bravery, wasted no time in reinstating him to his former position. The nation hailed him as a hero, a symbol of resilience and unwavering courage. Banning, however, remained humble, his only concern the safety and well-being of the president and his country. Section 10. A nation's gratitude, honors, and recognition. In a moving ceremony broadcast across the globe, President Asher bestowed upon Banning the highest civilian honor for his extraordinary courage and unwavering dedication. It was a moment of national unity, a time for healing and rebuilding. The scars of the attack remained, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace, but so too did the spirit of resilience embodied by Banning and the countless others who had risked their lives to protect their country. Newspapers hailed Banning as the guardian of Olympus, his story becoming an instant legend. But for Banning, the true reward was the knowledge that he had lived up to his oath, that he had honored the memory of those he had lost, and that he had played a pivotal role in preventing a global catastrophe. Section 11. Olympus stands tall, a symbol of resilience. The attack on the White House was a stark reminder of the ever-present threats in a volatile world. But it also underscored the enduring strength of the human spirit, the unwavering resolve to stand united in the face of adversity. The White House, battered but not broken, stood as a symbol of this resilience, its walls echoing with the stories of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of hope. Mike Banning, forever linked to the defense of Olympus, resumed his role as the president's protector, his gaze steelier, his resolve unwavering. He carried with him the weight of his experiences, the scars of battles fought and won. He became a silent guardian, a watchful protector, ever vigilant, ensuring that the beacon of freedom continued to shine brightly for generations to come.